Okay, guys, all right. What I'm doing right now is going through my events page over at my YouTube channel and cleaning these up so right before April 25th comes along. I thought it'll probably take me this long to actually get through. I have 11 events in the queue. I want to make sure that I open them up, get them set out, and make them viable or whatever, make them a true link over at my YouTube page. So I had titled this one Beauty Bubble Now Bake a Muffin. Am I funny or what? I don't really have a muffin. We have cornbread sticks. We have a great cornbread sticks recipe. So what I can do is rename this one, and we can go over the cornbread um, the recipe. I can drop in the picture, tell you where it is in the cookbook, and maybe get quiet on board about what it is, the versatility of learning how to make a great cornbread stick. Because a lot of you know about cornbread, a lot of you know about cornbread muffins, so it might be a good thing rather than do a savory baked good and put it under this URL, if that makes sense to you guys. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and see if while we're live, we're going to just test some things out, see if while we're live, we can actually set it out to be monetized. So we'll go ahead and save those changes while we're live. Take it back over to basic info. And for the most part, now I don't really call these Beauty Bubble Now. Also go ahead and change out the tags and the good food right here. And we'll go to savory baked goods. I know these are going to be wild. Cornbread sticks. There we go. What else can we say? Comfort food, right? And great with chili. Put that as a tag in. And then we'll top it off with the name of the channel name. Okay, in the description, we're learning that those first two lines are really important. So we're going to ask people to subscribe to the channel. And it's public. Advanced settings, we don't need any of that, and save those changes. Okay, then what we can do is run back over to YouTube and see if we're live on YouTube. Go to my channel. I think it'll have the old banner over here too. Go videos, go uploads, and go live streams. And we should be right there, and we are. So it showcases the old banner, which used to be the default from the, it always comes from your default banner up above. Just in case you didn't know that. If you feel confident that you don't have to have an excellent thumbnail, but that your banner thumbnail is top of the line. I've noticed some podcasters, people that just they have great banners. They spend a lot of time on their graphics, and they'll just go ahead and use that. And then in their description is where they have more of the show information. But wanted to let you know that if you do go live through the events page, your default would be your banner. Now, what's kind of clever about that, though, is that now that I am live, I'm going to give this a try now, put myself on mute so that I can see my live chat. And if you guys remember, we always want to do what? We want to pop out our chat, which are the 3-column ellipsis, and I'll go Manage, Participants, Pop Out Chat, and Toggle Timestamp. So you want to make sure that you do that. Also, what we may end up doing is, especially when we go live on some of the recipes, because the chat does go away, right? It's an ephemeral chat when you go live. And that way it encourages you, once we're situated to do so, that you would actually be opting in to receive the cookbook and etc. Okay? So there's different ways that you can manage this the chat part to go to the next step with your viewers. And I think that that's really it. I'll just try and stay live for just a couple moments here. Go ahead and you thumbs up your own video, which is just fine enough to do. And I think what I can possibly do, because I know the recipe, the entire recipe, that was something that I needed to put over at writing the book, is that whatever you do, make sure that you understand what's 200 characters, what's 140 characters. You definitely have to do that. Alrighty. Okay. All right, so I think what I'll do, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and I'll open up get something, challenge myself here to open up the PDF for the book. And let's start to do the reading off the recipe and instructions. Just take a moment for the PDF to load because it's 208 pages. So I'll give that just a moment to load up. And I might need to think about where I have the recipe in single columns, especially the ones that I've posted already. That might be a good idea. And we're just going to let the page load. Okay, there it is. I'll bring it down just a little teeny bit here so you guys can see the whole book. And let me get control cornbread. Maybe we called them cornbread sticks. Yeah, cornbread sticks. And see if I can get into all the instances of cornbread sticks. Cornbread, if I just do cornbread. There's cornbread. There's 11 instances of cornbread. Okay. All right. So we have 11 instances of using the word cornbread in the book, so you can see that it's a very important part of the book itself. And I will take a picture here for Twitter. I think that this is over at Twitter too, by the way. I should probably just look over there just to make sure. But I think what we'll do is that we'll do a screen share right now. So you guys are ready? And we're going to screen share the application window. We're going to go here and we're going to share. And we'll hide that and we'll highlight myself here. There we go. Present to everyone. Okay, so welcome to Good Food, Fall and Winter, and the recipe that you're looking at right here is the cornbread sticks recipe. You'll notice that I did the Control F and search for all the instances of cornbread. It's crazy that we would have 11 references to cornbread in the book. I had no idea. I think that that's pretty hilarious. But here are your ingredients. You'll need some yellow cornmeal and flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, buttermilk, vegetable oil, egg, and if you want to make it with the jalapeno, you need some jalapeno and some, seeded, right? Okay. Your instructions are here. Let me scroll down so you can see how beautiful these are, how they turn out. Now I do have to tell you that when we write the tools book, you'll see we really have this beautiful cast iron. It's a pretty old cast iron cornbread stick mold. And so this is why you get this particular shape. But I know that we're calling this the bake-a-muffin. I do think that there is a bit of a difference between the cornbread stick batter and a muffin batter. Maybe we can talk about that later, but if you don't have a cornbread stick pan, I think we need to talk about an alternative tool, because as I'm talking to you today, I can't really tell you what the opposite would be. A little muffin, we have what are called, they're little muffin, they're like mini muffins. So those might work. We might want to try that out though and see if they would end up being kind of like cornbread bites in a way. So those might work. So you're going to preheat your oven to 425. And then in a medium bowl, you're going to whisk together your dry ingredients. It's cornmeal, your flour, your baking powder, your baking soda, and salt. And then, of course, set your dry ingredients off to the side. Going to take out your cast iron sectional baking pan and rub the cooking surface with a tablespoon of, or it's like a teaspoon of vegetable oil. We're going to put the pan in the oven, and the reason for that is you're kind of curing the pan. You're getting the pan actually ready and hot so that when the batter comes in, it's all part of the cooking process to really make like a lovely crispy outside to your cornbread stick. So it's a pretty important part. It's a great little hint about how to make things that are just a little crispier on the outside. Many recipes call for shaken or well-shaken buttermilk. The reason for that is the buttermilk tends to separate, so giving the container a really good vigorous shake really helps. And then you add the shaken buttermilk, etc., etc. So we'll continue on with the recipe more specifically over at Twitter, and also trying to encourage you guys to make sure that you're opting in once we get ready to get the cookbook sent to you guys. And there's the beautiful picture. I'll open up the picture a little bit. Oh. And there we go. And it's on page 173 of 208 pages. And as I said, I got a real kick to find out so many references of cornbread in the cookbook. I had to ask about that. Like, how in the world did that happen? But okay, so that's it. Let me come back over to the Hangout, and I want to make sure that I leave this up long enough so that we can get some, get the custom image done over at YouTube. So I'll just do it kind of on a 3, 2, 1 and leave it there before we end the broadcast. Okay, guys, this has been Beauty Bubble for Beauty Bubble here over at YouTube. Love to take this content also over to Facebook. No, I don't do the screen share over at Facebook, but maybe we'll do like a podcast over at Facebook. If not, we'll try to get Quiet the Chef to do a podcast with me where we're actually making the cornbread sticks, and I'm sure that we'll find out all sorts of really cool things about what his little special, that thing that he does that makes food taste so good. So enjoy yourself, and you've been learning a little bit about our cookbook, Good Food Fall and Winter, which is available. It's an ISBN. I always forget this. Is it ISBN book that we published? It's all of our own photography, all of our own styling, all of our own recipes, and Blurb was our publisher. We're going to be talking a lot more about how to publish a book, and we don't know how we're going to bring it. We might bring it through Patreon. We might just keep it here over at YouTube. We're not really too sure, but we had a tremendous experience writing our own cookbook, and I think that there's so many people out there that would like to go through it. They just don't maybe know what the steps are or aren't part of a community to make sure that you actually get it done. We were able to write a cookbook, 208 pages. It's absolutely glorious in less than 50 days, and I know that you could do it too. So make sure that you come along with a journey, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Okay, bye-bye now.